Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stuntin. It is my pleasure to be talking to one of our original, when we say original, we mean original. This is our Genesis artist, MrsMetal, who's been rocking with us since day one. Welcome, MrsMetal. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I mean, we just want to give you like a big shout out. Thank you for trusting Fimi. You have been so active in our Telegram groups and just have been a big proponent of us. So we just wanted to extend big thanks to you for that. So let's just dive in now and let's talk about, for those who don't know MrsMetal, can you just introduce yourself and tell us about your artist journey? Like, when did you start falling in love with art?
I have been a silent artist, as I like to call myself, because I'll create photography was where I started.
Okay.
And I took some classes with a friend of mine who does photography full time. That's her gig. So we did some minor classes with that, and I started with my phone and started with your basic editing tools that everybody's got their hands on. And then my husband started his crypto journey. And I fell in love with, most everybody knows who Gnaw the Bear is. Gnaw and his bears are actually what captivated my attention to NFTs.
Interesting.
I had no idea what an NFT was.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw the bear and I looked at my husband. I said, I want it. How do I get it? And he's like, well, you're going to have to join the crypto space in order to get it.
Uh-huh.
So we joined the Gnaw group channel and his Discord and Telegram. And then he's like, for those of you who want to learn, I will start doing art courses for you. Because he actually went to school for it. So he started doing drawing lessons with my 7-year-old, actually. And in doing that, I got access to his knowledge. And he started teaching me about the digital art and how you could do it digitally. Because I'm like, I can't draw worth more than a stick figure on paper. I'm not good like that.
Mm-hmm.
I erase 5,000 times. It's just not me. He's like, here, do it digitally. So I started. And then I got hooked.
So what program was your gateway drug?
An AI program, actually. An AI program. It's now called Dream.
Okay.
But when I found it, it was called Wombo.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. So it's interesting because you say you are a silent artist until you discover the digital illustration part, and that's where you started to grow, you started to thrive. So, along your artist journey, like what things did you find that you started creating that you were interested in, or what was that like for you as you started like, breadcrumbs?
February, Valentine's Day, we decided in Gnaw's chat that we had that we were going to do a Valentine's Day NFT giveaway and just exchange between each other. Everybody got a random person's name. And I got a hold of 9-bit was her handle. I was given her name and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna draw my inspiration from? And I started, going back to, I dream in color. Most people tell me I'm crazy, but I dream in bright, vivid colors. And I had a dream the night before of a gorgeous waterfall with bright colored rocks. And actually yesterday I shared my piece, my very first NFT, as my Throwback Tuesday. So anybody who wants to see it can go to my Twitter page, and that's where you'll find it. I created that for her for Valentine's Day, and that's what hooked me. So it's crazy how the crypto people and the people that were placed in my life at that time led me through to my journey. And then I met Dixie and Ink. And it's just been, comments, people like Miguel's who retweeted a piece I created, and he sees it in a totally different light than what I originally created, which then sparks a whole nother piece to come out of it. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I totally see that now, but I didn't see it when I created it.
Yeah. I mean, looking at your vibrant creations on the Fimi NFT marketplace, it's not a stretch to see that you do dream in color, because you have these beautiful, like the I can't even call them landscapes, because they're just like otherworldly scapes, and you kind of just want to like jump in, like take a Willy Wonka moment and just like dive through into the
and that's Dixie was the one who coined my modern day Alice collection that I started at Stellar, because that's where everybody I knew was Lightman. Started on the Stellar network. Dixie coined the modern day Alice, and I ran with it because that's how I dream.
Yeah.
So it's so nice to be able to take those worlds I dream of and be able to put them in art.
Yeah.
And people soak it up. And then to see it on paper, like you guys did at that NFT with my traveler piece, to see it printed was a whole nother level of excitement.
Yeah, of course. You're for our viewers. You're talking about our official launch on Juneteenth in New York City, where we printed out some of our Genesis artist work, and your work was one chosen. And let me tell you, your work, that Space Traveler piece, had at any given time a little crowd around it, and people were just like, so it's really cool, actually. Yeah, although we're an NFT platform, when we printed those out, it just represented something else. It was just another level of awesomeness that brought to the art, and it's just a different way of experiencing it. And that's just like another discussion too, where how do you consume or how do you enjoy NFTs? You saw the bears,
right?
I have to have it. I have to have it.
I just had to, and I've created it. And when you find artist piece that speaks to you, and that's how I buy my art. I want it to speak to me. And if it doesn't, then maybe it's not for me. But I've started picking up different artists. Some of them create art just like mine. But I've also picked up artists who are on the total opposite spectrum of my art, because it brings a whole nother level of inspiration that I didn't know to expect. This whole NFT space has been a blessing to be able to see my own growth. And the fact that I've only been making NFTs since February.
Never too late.
It's never too late
to
follow your dream.
For sure. So I wanted to talk, I'm curious about how is that juggling act for you as a mom, and now as an emerging artist. I don't even think you're an emerging artist. You are an artist. Your stuff is listed. You are an artist. So what is that like for you, for those viewers who think I'm too busy, I'm a mom, my plate is full? What advice would you have to give for them? What has it been like?
Those down times, like when the kids want to sit and watch a movie that you've probably seen 5,000 times, but you want to cuddle with the babies. I love that my art can be done from my phone. I can sit and soak up my baby lovin's and still do art at the same time. Mommy needs a 5-minute break, even if all I do is spend 5 minutes on a piece of art. 5 minutes after the end of the day, you'll create 2 or 3 pieces and then if I see, like, I've been out shopping and I see a sunset that sparks my interest, I'll snap a picture and then go home and create it later or use it as inspiration. One of my pieces on Fimi was a magnolia blossom that I had happened to capture at the exact moment as it was starting to bloom. And to watch that represented to me like our minds and our brains, if we just take that moment to just listen to our heart, follow the advice of people in your life that actually want what's best for you, and continue to soak in the knowledge. Just like the flowers soak up the sunlight, we have to be willing to soak up that knowledge that other people are willing to give you.
Yeah, I mean, especially in this crypto NFT space where it's changing so fast. Like knowledge and education is actually something that you have to do for yourself, you know? So I think it's really interesting that you say, you know, in the inspiration, there lies opportunity. Because as a busy mom, you know, you will sit down and if you can just have a few minutes a day, you can still produce art. And the convenience of the AI technology of having it on your phone, art is just being created and consumed differently. You know, you are a testament to that for sure. You are a Fimi Genesis artist, and I wanted to talk to you about that journey. Like, why Fimi? Why did you choose us, and what your experience has been so far?
The reason I chose Fimi was because I liked the fact that their whole motto was to become diversified. And there is not enough diversity between the women and the men in most of the NFT spaces. There is not enough women artists. And I feel like most women feel like we can't compete with the men artists. And I want everybody to realize that that is not the case. I get men telling me that I have inspired them to become better artists. So I want my women artists to know that it is never too late. We are okay to start where we're at. And we are okay to be joining the men in that space. We're needed. And Fimi took that, and to see the culture, the fact that Fimi's bringing culture as well as women and the men and creating that equal opportunity. Nobody's better than the other because it's a brand new marketplace. You don't have to feel like you're competing for the next top artist spot on the page because we're all equals.
You know, every time I speak to an artist about our NFT marketplace, I get all warm and fuzzy inside because you are the lifeline. You are the lifeblood, and the fact that you've chosen us as a home, it's such an honor. It's such an honor, and you know, we just aim to be beacons for diversity, represented, underrepresented. You know, because as you dream in color, the world is vibrant also in color and in diversity. And we don't see that, unfortunately, in a lot of spaces, and in particular the Web3 space. So
Yeah.
to have your voice added to that is truly special for us, you know. So we thank you so much for trusting us and trusting us with your creations, with your dreamscapes.
It was a learning process because Fimi being a new market, being, you know, through all the bumps and curves that happened and all the setbacks, but we all know technology is technology. We can't rush it any faster than you can rush your child to learn to tie their shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, watching it blossom and watching how Fimi is listening to what the artists need, not so much what the Web3 space might want it to be.
Right.
Taking what we need as the artists need to better make a Web3 for us and be that beacon of shining light for the artist as well.
Yeah, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. Mrs. Metal, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
This week's of Stuntin. It was truly enlightening, truly an honor to talk to you as an artist and your experience in the NFT world, and as your experience in the Fimi NFT marketplace. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Join us on another episode of Stuntin. Thank you for tuning in. I am Diana, Fimi Communications Manager. Have a great rest of the day, everyone.